Hello everyone and welcome to the International Racing League. This is the 18th round of 27 and we're nearing the end of our season. As it looks like it's the two-team rocket cars of Giovanni Blair and Jesse Knotts running with the championship. However, both the Toyotas are not too far behind. I mean, they're a little far behind 100 points, but still, it is going to be an exciting title race. Speaking of the Toyotas, silly season rumors have been affecting them the most. From the sounds of it, it looks like that the car driver number 11, Viola Ling, will not be around next year, as the driver the car will be. We don't know where Ling would go, but she has announced that she will no longer be driving for Toyota Racing in 2023. Which brings up the question of who will replace her. There's been a few candidates, mainly Wesley Joel, the Toyota development driver, this is his home race, the current Roy Inc. driver, Ace Smithley, who, when her car isn't getting torn up or being blown up, she's been driving quite brilliantly. And, of course, the reigning champion, Brianna Thorne, who Ferrari is seemingly doing their best to hold her back. Which is kind of a shame, really, because the Thorne, when she hasn't had Murphy's Law hit her, she's been doing quite good. This is also worth noting that this weekend, if Smithley is to leave, Aiden Jackson could very well likely replace her over at Ferrari. Aiden Jackson is running the 28 car this weekend instead of his normal 98. That 98 car is being driven by Floyd Bourdon, who drove car number 60 to a brilliant second place. This is also the last race for Kaylee Zappa in the 10 car, because when we go to Japan, it is going to be the car number 10 will be driven by Matthew Evans. Let's quickly our starting grid. Inge Eriksson grabs another pole, and she's finally looking to score her first career victory today. And on her outside is Giovanni Blair of the Team Rocket Boss. Row 2, Denny Marco, whose season hasn't gone too terribly well, and then James Cathcart. Next row has Jesse Knotts and Everett Masana. Row 4, two independents of Raul Carol and Yussi Rolke. Rolke's team is here because the team who owns the car, also owns the track. This being Bell Hill. Row 5, Kaylee Zappa, as we mentioned, her last run in the 10 for the foreseeable future. And Brianna Thorne, car number 13. Row 6, Pierre Lamont, Chris Regazzoni, both looking for a little more of the years, but Lamont, I think, still doing a good job, and Regazzoni has been painfully close to a few runs. Row 7, Viola Ling and Bolgar Daniel. Ling has announced she would not be at Toyota Racing next year, and Bolgar Daniel probably staying where she is, the former Formula X driver. Row 8, Jackson Berlund. Berlund's definitely going to be staying over there while Aiden Jackson is moving. It is rumored he'll be moving. We don't know if he will yet. Row 9, Nick Kane, an independent, and a one-off for Frank Walker's team and Tim Courting. Qualifying Devin Butler, I like to add. Next row 10, Jake Bennett and Bob Smithley. This is Smithley's first start. He is the brother of Ace. Row 11, another independent of Yoha Rujo and Ryan Raver, who's probably gone. Row 12, Rich Roy, who owns the team, is probably staying, and Ryan Rickshaw, also staying with Team Star USA. Row 8, Lance Templeton, doing a good job in his Independence Trophy effort, and Nathaniel Orman. Next row has Devin Butler and Wesley Joel, both rumored to be fired from their team, or not fired, but moved to move teams. Row 15, Mikhail Sokolov and Kyle West. The next row has Andonov, Kenny, Dave Grainer, and making his first start, he is the son of Lou Grainer. Smithley, Ackerman, Boyd Owen, who's in the 98 car this weekend. Stashton and Nushin, two independents. Halliday has a new sponsor. Tannehill and Souza, where we expect them. Bill Smithley is the father of Ace Smithley, making the first time 3 family members of the same family are racing together. Lou Grainer and David Bison rounds out the remainder of this 44-car grid. Bell Hill is an exciting circuit, and we're sure to see lots of racing action, as the best passing opportunity is entering down turn 1. It is kind of difficult to pass in the middle sector, but the final 2 sectors make up for it. As we are now waiting for the lights, you can see the 33 car on the front row. Angie Eriksson has been so close to her first one that this finally looks like it could be the day, especially on a track that's hard to pass as this one. The flag is dropped and away we go. It's a clean start for the entire field. Angie Eriksson gets well ahead of Marco and Giovanni Blair. as they enter now turn number 1, or entering this little kink, which is turn number 1, and then turn number 2. And Ingy Harrison holds the lead off the line. Great start made by her, as it looks like this the field has no further issues. There's some contact in the back though with Smithley and Kyle West, and there's some damage to both cars. Here is Aiden Jackson trying to get around Bulger Denny, the Formula X driver. Our former Formula X driver, excuse me, as his two teammates of Rigazzoni and DeThorne too far ahead of him. Here's Aiden Jackson, Floyd Bordillon, and Dave Grainer, and Patrick Kenny. All part-time cars around there. You can see A. Smith with a white and blue 14 car. She has new colors after Racing Jesus left that 14 car, but she has some damage already. As 3 wide already between Wesley Joe Grainer and Bordillon. Joe really trying to make some progress up the field already, but I don't think it's going anywhere. Though he's sticking on the inside, Dave Grainer gives him plenty of space. This is Dave Grainer's first race in a car that's not open wheel car, and it's for his probably is going to end up being his father's team. As Dave Grainer is, from the sounds of it, is moving up into the into management next year. So good for the Scotsman, but looks like Dave is going to hold off both the 98 and the 4. Maybe make him lunge of the 14. Grainer's teammate Kyle West is ahead of him and has some damage from Smithley. We think A. Smithley missed a braking point on turn 1 and ran into the back of the 80. Meanwhile, here's the 2 Mid-Atlantic cars, mainly this 56 of Allison Holiday we're focused on. New colors. Only problem is that she's running deeper in the field than what she wants, but still. And it's to see that there's some colors in this 56 car. And here's the 58 of Giovanni Blair, as mentioned, the Team Rocket Boss, and he's under attack from Danny Marco, the Canadian, whose season has been miserable, to say the least. Marco going to force the 58 going the long way around as we complete the first lap. As you can see, down the main straightaway, side by side still. There's again not a lot of passing zones on this racetrack, so any chance you can make a move, it is highly critical that you do so. As Marco holds the inside, and looks like he clears. Car number 58. No, Blair's coming back. Lennar, the 58 is going to come back around the now inside, entering this next turn. However, Marco's going to have the advantage, and he's finally going to get ahead of the 58. But he's going to hit the curb. Blair goes a bit wide, so he can't really capitalize it. This makes it allows his employee of Jesse Knotts to catch up to him. The Blair throws it on the inside, gains a lot of ground back on that number 79 car, and a few laps later, here's later that lap, Blair makes a mistake. This allows Knotts to pounce. Yes, it will. Blair trying a little too hard to get around the 79 car and not cause him to make a mistake, and Jesse Knotts has an opportunity. Entering the final few turns, Blair slides it wide again, and Knotts has the look on the inside she needs. Down the straightaway now, side by side. Team Rocket cars 3rd, 4th, and 5th at the moment, so good run for them. I think Knotts and Kath are too busy or being more focused on each other than anyone else for the rest of the year, unless something catastrophic happens to that team. They basically have a stranglehold on the points lead. They both are a race ahead of the 3rd place car in points. No need to risk something huge. As Knotts almost wiped out her team owner. That was close. Cathart, the points leader, running in 5th, as we mentioned earlier. Solid run for him, and something like he needs. Got Royal Kuru behind him, who threatens to take the independent points lead after today's race. And here's drivers whose future's up in the air. Brianna DeThorne. We don't know where she's going. We don't know if she's staying with Ferrari, heading to Toyota, or heading to someone else. Team Star USA has also contacted her about a possible drive over there, and that probably means, it definitely means that Ryan Rivers out, because they announced Ryan Rickshaw will be driving for them next year, not too long ago. So, where will car number 13 and her driver go, and who will be replacing her? And a lot of people have thought that has been Aiden Jackson who will, but we don't know yet. Still, the silly season is in full effect, especially coming to the end of the year. Meanwhile, here is Kaylee Zappa in car number 10. As I mentioned at the top of the show, this is probably her last race in the 10 car, considering that Matthew Evans is almost ready to come back. Zappa, though, has been basically picked up where he left off, running high in the top 10, and I wouldn't be surprised if she gets a full-time ride somewhere on the grid next year. Smithley, new colors, but has damage. She's going to hit the pits along with the number 80 car, who also has damage. Here is her brother, Bob Smithley, the number 0. Her both their father is running deeper in the field, but Bob Smithley ran the US 500 and got wiped out pretty early on. So Bob trying to make the best of his comeback. Meanwhile, Giovanni Blair has put pressure on the 79 and he's the long one again. Blair trying to get around the outside. That's going to be really difficult to do, but he's going to make it stick. Marco's fighting back, and I have noticed the 33 has not been able to pull away from them, which is interesting. And so nope, Blair using all the curve he possibly can to try to get around the number 79. As they enter the hairpin, and he's going to take a second back and he's going to try to set his sights on the 33, who has been keeping a steady pace at the front of the field. Something that is good to know. It looks like he hasn't cleared Marco yet, or Marco's going to try to go on the outside. You might have noticed, but the battle for fourth is happening, and that is between the two full-time Team Rocket cars of Knots and Cather. Deeper in the field, and I say that's like 3 places back. Kaylee Zappa's under pressure from Everett Masana, who I think needs basically every point possible to try to run down the two Team Rocket cars. That is going to be a tall order to do, but she has to run the inside of the 10. And Zappa, forced to run wide, she's going to squeeze her a bit, and Masana's going to force to back out of the throttle. Though they're keeping it clean, nice and fair. All is fair in love and war. And racing, apparently. Devin Butler deep in the field. You can see Mikhail Sokolov in front of him, and Victoria Andonov in Toyota. Andonov is another driver. We don't know where she's going, but Toyota, a good chance she's sticking within the Toyota program. Can't see her going anywhere else. If it's still in the IRL or in other junior leagues, and if he's not in the IRL, it'd be a shame. Though Wesley Joel has just been that good. Butler on the outside, or on the left of Andonov is going to turn into an advantage entering the second turn here. Nice, clean move, which is kind of surprising. You don't put Devin Butler and clean in the same sentence. Still, Butler is able to make it stick. Kind of. They're still side by side. And Butler finally gets past the 99. So nice run over there, nice move over there. Here's Victoria, ended up under pressure from the 58, but she took the turn a little wider than I think you would have. And it looks like the 33 crew are ready for her, and the 33, Inge Eriksson's going to bring into the pits. So I guess that's one way to enter the pits, but looks like now the Team Rocket cars are following. That's Daniel Marco and Rahul Kaul behind him, and on the following lap, excuse me, 12 or 11. The next 3 cars pit. So does the Roki, I saw Zapp, and I saw the Ferrari be Thorn. So it's just Team Rocket trying to get other cars together here. Onboard the 79 of Danny Marco on the main straightaway. We're looking for the Team Rocket cars, and in Ericsson, there's Knots. Knots is going to get passed by him. Maybe not Blair. Giovanni Blair has put off the undercut on Marco, but Inge Eriksson holds the lead. So nice strategy over there by the 33 car. Devin Butler led a lap and then hit the pits on lap 12. So Butler doing a different strategy, maybe going longer, but let's see what will work. Kyle West and Ace Smithley are off schedule, or off cycle, because of their damage in earlier pit stops. They appeared on lap 6 as we showed. But these two are on old tires and are significantly slower than this. They appeared about a half a second to a second. As you can see, the running order on your top left. You can see Smithley is running 14th, Aces, because that's Bob trying to go around the 80 to no avail. There, scoring is updated. Aces in 10th. The 90 or the 99, excuse me, the 80 is getting hounded by Smithley and Lau. Smithley had to use, or was to use the brakes. Smithley didn't. That just shows how tight the turn is. Here's the other one, who's staying out, and that's Ace Smithley. And that's Brandy Thorne, who's running 11th. Bob in 12th. You can see how much faster the 13 and 0 are compared to the 14. Ace not going to give the 13 a hard time, but is going to give her brother a hard time. Brotherly or sibling love, apparently. Smithley going around the outside, forcing him wide. Okay, Ace is playing for keeps, and then bails for the pits. Bob isn't going to be too impressed by that one. I can guarantee you that. I hope they don't have any plans for tonight, because that's going to be a shouting match effectively. And I can see Kyle West peeling to the pits as well in the background. Here's Caitlin Tannehill, the 65 car, running deeper in the field. She's running around deeper in the field, and she's pitting. This is on lap 18. So it looks like Caitlin is trying to get Caitlin, I think, wants to finish this on low fuel. It's possible, but risky. Everett Masson, on the other hand, is now under pressure from the 15. This is for, I think, 4th or 5th. And Masson, paramount, she keeps the 15 behind her. For the points, at least. The 15 has a run, I think, got that car sideways a bit, but still, they keep it together in one piece. Catherine and Masson, two of the, they race a lot of people very hard, but they also race people, cleanly and respectfully, which is more than we see for some other people. This is for 5th, by the way. I think we said this was for 4th earlier. But two of the more hard, clean, and fair racers, as the battle for the lead is developing between the 33 and 58. Or is Arison pitting? No, they both pit. So Blair's going to follow the strategy of Arison. This race, as I think we've made mention of, is going to be a pit strategy race. We're pitting on lap 20. You can do 10 laps on fuel. And looks like the Team Rocket cars are following Blair's strategy, but Knox pits 1 lap later. Aiden Jackson and Bob Smithley are side by side coming out of the pits, and Smithley, Bob just hooked the 28, around goes Aiden Jackson in his home race, and nowhere for Tim Courting to go. And it looks like Bulger Daniels barely missed the 28. But a tough break for Jackson, and one of his few starts for Ferrari, and that car is destroyed. Here's another view of it, and it looks like just exiting the pits. I don't know why we need the replay. Bob just hooks a hard right into the 28. I'm not sure if we missed something between the two, but that's not going to sit well with the Ferrari camp, or Aiden Jackson for that matter. And Tim Courting, who, well, he needs a good run for his team and probably for himself. Just an innocent bystander just gets nicked by the 28. And it's a shame that Courting's day has to end like this. And I'm not sure why we're seeing another view of it. Here's the Zero coming out of the pits. He's gonna get next to the 28 as Jackson gets up to speed. As he had plenty of room, Tim Courting was well ways back. I don't know what he was thinking, but anyways, James Cathcart is currently running 10th. That team had a horrible pit stop, and I don't think anyone's surprised about that. That's a stop and go penalty for the Zero car. It's going to ruin his race. Inge Arison holds the lead, but is significantly smaller than it was earlier. Here's Ace Smithley, who is running 10th. Alternate strategy caused by some, I think, turn 1 mishap, which you really can't blame that on anyone. That turn's really tight. Kyle West is pitting 1 lap before Smithley, so I wonder if Smithley was saving fuel during this run. She has to have, because there's her and Kyle pit at the same time. Here's Aiden Jackson, who's a damaged car and on newer tires, significantly faster than the 14. Even if you're faster, that doesn't give you the right to bully the lead lap cars out of the way. I wonder if Race Control's gonna have a look at that. Lance Templeton, the 46 car, the Independence Trophy. Audi development driver, as it was named recently. Mainly for Swift Motorsports, and he's doing a good job. So is that 44 or 88 car. David Bison started last, and he's on the outside of the points. And so is Jake Bennett. Bennett and Orman are having horrible days. So is Butler. Anyways, but yeah, Lance Templeton trying to get around the 88 car. So that was close. They keep it together though, and Templeton backed out of that maneuver. But Lance, can't wait to see what of him in the future, especially this underfunded team, as Bulger Daniels is after this 14, and Smithley breaks into the pits. So nice race for the 14. Here's Tanner Hill. A few laps after that, trying her alternate strategy, but it's really not going well. She's going to pit on lap 28, and this is a 30-lap race, keep in mind. So, pit strategy is going to be close. And yeah, Tanner Hill cut the rolled dice, she can't make it. Neither can this 19 car. So, with just a few laps remaining. This is a few. No, this is a. Excuse me. This is not a 30-lap race. With a few laps remaining, it's starting to look like some of these cars who are trying to stretch their fuel could not make it. The 33 is forced to pit. So is the 70. Should be the last stop. I think everyone was trying to take this a little bit slower than what they normally would, but as you can tell, it's not exactly working. Nuts exit the pits. However, she's gonna get passed by the 33 of Racin, and now here comes the 58 of Giovanni Blair, and she's gonna take second. So there's a 37-lap race. That was on lap 30. So the race is on. You can see between Racin and Giovanni Blair, Rich Roy inside the points. He's been making all of his passes on strategy. So Roy, who's been having a tough year, sponsorship was none of his own doing, has been costing him. Sponsorship was being the former occupant of that 28 car, who, I'm not sure why Jackson's holding him up. The 80 and 14 are 3 seconds slower from the rest of the field, and, well, it looks like the 14 is faster than someone, at least. West bails into the pits, basically knowing his any chance for points for him are done. In Garrison has not many laps to go. She has taken the white flag, and Giovanni Blair is running her down like a like a bounty hunter. Racin trying to do everything she can. She's yet to score a win, which is surprising. The rookie, the hot shot out of Norway, has been so close so many times, and well, she's just fallen short, mainly of stuff not of her own doing. This looks like it's gonna be the day. The Blair is running her. She looks like the gap's gained a bit, so it looks like Racin just picked it up. Wonder if she was saving her tires or fuel. Down, coming to the hairpin. Looks like Knotts is going attacking Blair. I wonder if Blair's gonna move out of the way to let Knotts score more points, or, well, not, because technically it's a race. He's a race car driver himself. I don't think he wants to give up second. But no matter what, no Team Rocket car is gonna win today. In Garrison rounds the final bend and is finally gonna claim her first career victory. In a historical day for her, and a great day for Scandinavian Sports. She led most of the laps, grabbed the pole, and of course won the race, giving her a perfect 65. Team Rocket cars round out the podium. Roll car roll. With that result today, will take the Independence Trophy lead. Marco runs out the top 5. Kaylee Zappa, last run for her in this 10 car. A great run. We will see her again later in the year, though, so no threat to you Kaylee Zappa fans. Everett Mastana, 7th, probably one a bit more. Nick Kane, finishing 8th. We didn't talk about him today, but good result by him. Cathart fell through the field. Lamont basically finished where he qualified. Same for Rolke. DeThorne will finish 12th, and quick your points shows that James Cathart still holds the lead over Jesse Knotts. The series will head to Asia as we continue the series of 7 races left. It looks like the championship is going to be a Team Rocket driver. The question will be who. We'll see you next time.